Kitty.
And I'm Jennifer.
And we're the O'Neill sisters.
And we're going to show you how to make a really cute gift craft. It's a monogram charm keychain.
We saw a keychain like this on Pinterest, clicked through, and it was from Anthropology, but they weren't selling it anymore.
So we decided to make one on our own, and we're going to show you how you can make one too.
Let's get started. To make the keychain, you'll need a bangle bracelet. Ours is 2 3/4 inches in diameter, and it's gold. And then you'll also need some cotton fabric. We chose a small pattern with a lot of color.
For fun, we've got some gold charms here. We've got a monogram charm, a little elephant charm, and a heart locket charm. And then we've got some glass millefiori beads. They're little flower beads in 4 different colors.
To turn it into a keychain, we have a lobster clasp keychain, and we just got this with the other jewelry findings at the craft store. And then to put it all together, we've got 4 head pins in gold, and we've got some gold wire here. This is 24 gauge.
For tools, you'll need round nose pliers, chain nose pliers, and wire cutters.
And you'll need scissors, and we really love these scissors. They're ergonomic.
To get started, we're going to show you how to make bead dangles.
To do that, we're going to take a bead and we're going to put it onto a head pin. That's what the head pins are for. The head pin has a little stopper here at the back. It's a piece of wire, kind of like a straight pin. And we're going to slide on the bead, and then we're going to use our round nose pliers to make a loop at the top of that bead so that we can turn it into a dangle. So to do that, I grasp the wire right above the bead with the round nose pliers, and then I pull the wire over to make a 90-degree bend. Then I want to reposition the pliers to the top of that bend so I can start making that loop. To make the loop, I'm going to push the wire over those pliers. This is going in the opposite direction from that 90-degree bend. I go all the way around until I hit the bottom jaw, and I can't go any further. So I reposition the pliers so the bottom jaw is in there, and that way I can pull the wire all the way around, and now I have a loop.
And this is a classic technique for jewelry making,
yes,
called making a wrapped loop.
Wrapped loops. It's easy once you get your hands doing it. So now I grasp the loop across with the round nose pliers, and then I pull the tail around 2 times, and that's the wrap part of the wrap loop.
Well, you can buy these bead dangles already made at the craft
yes,
store or jewelry stores, but we think it's such an easy thing to make on your own.
Yes.
We thought we'd show you how to do it.
So these are my wire cutters, and I'm just going to reach in there and pinch the wire with the wire cutters like that. And then I can use my chain nose pliers to kind of shape that up a little bit. This wire got a little bent. Just press it down like that.
It's something we love about wire work, simple wire work like this, is you can always tighten up your loops. You can press any pokey ends down.
So that looks darling. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make 3 more of these dangles with our millefiori beads, and then we'll be ready to do the keychain. To assemble the keychain, we're going to start by cutting a strip of fabric about 1/2 inch wide, and ours is 40 inches long because the bolt we bought the fabric from was 40 inches. So we only had to buy about 1/4 yard. So cut yourself a long strip. So this is about 1/2 inch by 40 inches. It's too long, but that's okay.
Here's our strip. We went ahead and cut it ahead of time so you don't have to watch us do that. And the first thing I'm going to do actually is cut off the little selvage end here. And I'm going to use our handy dandy scissors here. These are ergonomic scissors that are basically designed to spring back. They're sort of spring loaded.
They're like garden shears, the way they spring back.
Yeah, and actually it helps sort of save your hands if you're doing lots and lots of cutting. So we love these. And I'm going to set those aside. And then I'm going to show you how to get started wrapping. What we want to do is tie the piece of fabric onto our bangle. And to do that, it's as simple as wrapping the fabric around and leave a bit of a tail. I'm going to leave about 6 inches, I think, or 5 inches. And I'm just going to tie it on like that. Yep, so there's our knot.
There it is.
And I'm going to start wrapping my fabric around. And I'm going to just kind of hold it with my pinky while I pull this through.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to overlap about halfway so that I'm sure that the whole thing is getting covered up.
So she's kind of wrapping it diagonally in a way.
Yeah. Don't worry if the fabric frays a little bit.
That's the look.
Yeah, it's kind of fun, and it's cotton, it's naturally going to fray.
And that's why we chose cotton for this. We went to the calico section in the fabric store and we looked at all the prints and colors, and we chose something that had a small print because that way all the little colors show in every wrap. If it was a big print, we might get areas of just blue wrapping and wrapping and wrapping. We wanted color to show up on every wrap.
So I'm going to wrap until I get about halfway around.
Yeah, you only have to wrap half the bangle with the fabric.
Almost done. I'm going to go around one more time, like that. And then I'm going to trim the end of this because I'm ready to tie a knot. But this is kind of a lot of fabric to try and tie a knot with. So I'm going to use the little scissors for this. And I'm going to give myself about 6 inches because that's just easier to work with.
Yeah. So I think in the end you wind up using about a 36-inch piece of
Probably.
fabric because I looked at how much you cut off. So,
okay.
But it's nice to have that extra to start with.
Yeah. I'm just going to go around like this and tie a knot. There's our little knot.
Tie it tight, yeah.
Nice and tight. Great. So we've got half of our bangle wrapped and we're ready to add our wire.
So we cut a 12-inch piece of wire and we're going to use that to attach the bead dangles and the charms. So we're just going to start by wrapping it onto the bangle.
So I'm going to pick this end to start. I'm going to leave a little bit of a tail there. Hold on to it like that. And I'm just going to wrap that around my bangle like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, just a couple times.
And it doesn't have to be super tidy because we're going to end up hiding this, these little ends under a knot when we're done.
Yes.
So now our wire is secured on there and we can start wrapping it. I'm going to turn it like this so you can see it. There we go. And I'm going to just start wrapping my wire. So I'm going to go around the bangle and the fabric one time.
Yeah.
And when I come back around, I'm going to add on either a charm or a bead dangle.
So the pattern is going to go bead dangle, charm, bead dangle, initial, bead dangle, charm, bead dangle.
Perfect.
So we're going to start with the bead dangle.
Great.
So here's the blue one.
Oh, I love it. And like we said, these bead dangles you can buy already made, and they'll have maybe a jump ring on them. Or
they already
whatever.
have the loop on them.
Yeah.
I've seen them like a card of them where there'll be 12 or something in different colors.
We think it's fun to make them on your own.
You can pick any beads.
Yeah, that's right. So there we go. So in between each of the beads or charms, we're going to add one wrap.
Yes.
So I'm going to go all the way around once like that. And then I'm ready for...
You're ready for a charm.
A charm.
Here's the heart charm.
Oh, cute. And the heart charm has a front and a back. So I want to make sure that it hangs sort of facing the front because we want all of our charms to face the same way. So that seems right.
That looks right.
Slide that down.
Whichever way it lands, we'll call the front.
That's right. That works for me. So there we go.
Yes.
Looks good. We'll go around one more time. Like that.
And then you get another bead dangle. How about this red one?
Oh, nice. Really pretty.
They look great.
There we go. One more wrap in between.
Okay, and then this should wind up sort of at the center.
So I'm going to look and see if I'm centered here.
Pretty close.
Kind of close.
So here's the initial charm. We bought the initial charms in a pack with the whole alphabet, which is great because we're going to make one for Jennifer too.
Oh, good. The main thing here is I want to make sure that this is facing the right way because if it flips to the wrong way, it won't be a K.
It's not a K anymore.
So it seems like that might be the wrong way.
I think it's on backwards.
Yeah, so I'm just going to flip it over.
Yeah, which might
try to remember how.
It might not matter for an A, but
right.
It does for a B
right.
and a K.
Yeah, there we go. Does that look right?
Yes, that looks right.
Great. I want that kind of centered,
Yeah.
so I might, let's see, that seems like it.
And you can kind of slide the beads around on the wire. If they get too far over to one side, you can just push them around the wire.
Yeah, I think I might do
to
that a little bit
reposition them
here.
a little
I'm
bit.
going to slide this one down a little bit.
Yeah, there. Now that's more centered.
And I'll slide the one here down a little bit too.
Yes.
So we already did a wrap in between, so we're ready for our next.
Ready for a dangle.
Yes. There
Here's
we go.
the yellow one.
Love it. Wrap again.
And the elephant charm. You could choose, like if you're making this as a gift, you could choose a charm that's meaningful to the person or their zodiac sign or
sure. That's
something
fun.
like that. And it could also be fun to do this in school colors.
Oh, that'd be really fun.
You can put the mascot in there.
And then I think we're ready for our next
green one.
Like that. Should I wrap it a little bit more?
Yeah, maybe 2 more wraps there.
We'll do 2 more wraps. So now that I'm back to my knot, I'm going to move my knot out of the way, and I'm going to wrap the wire about 4 times around the bangle like that, and then use my wire cutters to trim.
Perfect.
I'll hold onto that so it doesn't hit either of us in the eyes.
All right.
And then to hide that little knot and our little wires there, I'm just going to make another knot with my fabric.
Yeah. Now just tuck that little end in.
Yeah.
Bury it in
there
a little
we
bit
go.
of ribbon. Perfect.
That's great. And now I can use my little scissors to trim the end. I think I'll do it.
Yeah, I like that length.
Like about that one.
Yeah, that's very cute.
And then the other end, I need to hide my wraps there, so I'll do the same thing I just did, which is make a little knot.
Perfect.
To hide those ends. And the fabric's fraying, but we love that look.
Yeah.
We think that looks really fun.
That's why we picked cotton.
I'm going to trim that about the same.
Yes.
That's the
that is so cute. It's practically a bracelet, and you could wear it and or give it as a gift as a bracelet.
Yeah,
but we want to turn it into a keychain. So to do that, we bought this binding at the craft store. This was in the jewelry section also, and they called it a lobster clasp keychain. It's basically a giant lobster clasp.
Yeah.
And it came on this ring that we don't want. We just want the jump ring and the lobster part. We don't want this big ring. So I'm going to use 2 pairs of pliers to open that jump ring to remove that big key ring part. So to do that, first thing, I need my glasses.
Your glasses help.
I want to see the cut in that jump ring. So the way you do this is you find the cut in the jump ring. So I'm moving it around until I see the cut. There's a break in the jump ring right there. What I want to do is I want to hold the jump ring with pliers on one side of the cut and with my other pliers on the other side of the cut. Then to open that jump ring, I'm going to push one side down and one side towards the ceiling. And it kind of slides it open like a gate. It makes enough room that I can slip out that little keyring thing, and then I can slip on our bangle.
What that does is it keeps the round shape of the loop of the jump ring, because otherwise if you manipulate the loop open this way and try to press it back together, it won't be a circle anymore.
Yes, you want to keep that circle shape. And then we're going to close it. You can close it either by using the pliers in the same way in reverse, or you can use one pair of the chain nose pliers and press it together. And you just want to make sure that when you're done, those ends meet up.
Perfect.
By doing that, now we've turned our fabric wrapped bangle with the charms into a keychain.
Super cute.
How cute is that? We'll have to make one for you.
Oh, please.
Our keychain's all done and we think it turned out really fun.
I love that adding the fabric really makes it look unique.
Remember, while you're working on your keychain, if you have any questions at all, you can leave us a comment and we'll reply.
We're here to help. Happy crafting.